Hi, I'm Sylvanians, and I make videos about Sylvanian families, also known as Calico critters. And today I just have a talkie video. So the 20th of March was Sylvanian Anniversary Day, and the Japanese social media posted this photo to celebrate. I find these types of photos super interesting as it shows the current range of figures, especially as we don't seem to be getting catalogues quite as frequently. There have been lots of these type of photos over the years, like this one shows the very first families released in Japan, including the moles, and others, including these, show the different eras over the last 15 or so years, but there have been a lot more. This was a 2024 image with some babies playing at the front, and I always like Brie High Branch on her dad's head at the back. This photo was the main one for 2025. The biscuit bears are front and centre as they were new and have their newborn triplets in the buggy. I also like little Henry Periwinkle and Elfie Maple running in on the right hand side to make sure they're in the photo. And this is the new 2026 image that got posted. So let's take a look at this one in a bit more detail. I first of all spot the mole family right next to the chocolate rabbit family. The moles won the election held towards the end of last year, so they are meant to be serving as ambassadors for the entire of this year. So far this seems limited to just a few photos on social media, but hopefully we will be seeing more from them, and I was actually voting for the moles to win. They're still wearing the waistcoats from that 2020 re-release, but in other photos Baby Mo had a different outfit on, so hopefully we'll see that get officially released soon. Also in the 2026 photo, we have a look at the brand new owls at the front. The little tail sets that these are in haven't been released yet, so it's nice to see them next to some figures. Mother Danica Knightsworth looks a lot shorter than I was expecting. She's between Aaron Cottontail and Sapphire Waddle the penguin. It's interesting that she's shorter than even Sapphire, who's already small. Her two babies are just in front of her, and are also smaller than Kippy and Rocky the penguin babies. Just in front of them, and hiding behind the huskies, is the brand new baby tiger who's due to be released in the next set of blind bags. If you missed that video, this is Spike. I originally said his surname was Tiggles, but I think it's actually Tigris, as in the Latin name for tiger. I do think Tiggles is a better name though. But in this photo, Spike isn't wearing his cowboy costume, instead just in a regular red romper, which suggests he will get a standard release, and hopefully a family too. There's no other tigers in this picture, but hopefully we'll get them soon, and he won't be an orphan for long. There are also some of the newly released families in this large photo for the first time, the flying squirrels, including their twins at the front, also the new Jones corgis, the re-released Sandy cats and cottontail rabbits, both with their new newborn triplets, and the sunflower hamsters are in here for the first time too as well. So lots to look at, and I love seeing how the figures are all set up and not identically looking at the camera. But what I next want to talk about is which families are missing from this photo, as that might suggest they're being discontinued or phased out. I don't have any insider information, and this is pure speculation, so please don't take my word as gospel, and it's just something to think about. So with that disclaimer, I immediately noticed that the snowdrift reindeer are not featured in this photo. This family were first released in Japan in 2022, so they're not super recent, but still only 4 years ago. The main family set is this with the sledge, but there are also siblings in the Calico Critters range and in a Japanese bundle with a house. I had wondered if the reindeers were going to be discontinued when the willow deers were released, as they are a similar-ish brown deer family, but the snowdrift figures do have antlers, which makes them a bit different. But if they're not in this photo, perhaps Epoch have decided that they don't need 2 deers, and they also did come 46th out of 50 in the election. Another family no longer featured are the caramel dogs. These were brought into the Japanese range in 2019 and have never had a brother figure. They aren't used a lot. For instance, I think the last blind bag Justin was in was the Magical Blind Bag series from 2021, but he was in the 2024 Christmas set. I was hoping for this family to eventually get some newborn figures or even twins for the first time, but maybe Epoch have decided we have enough dogs with the new corgis and Dalmatians and also the huskies. I also can't see the marshmallow mice in this picture, and they've been a fixture in the range since 2018, and were the second family to get newborn figures after the Persian cats. This is a larger family, and we're in the previous all-family photo here, but just not in this new one. I would be surprised if these were discontinued, partly because we don't have any other mouse families right now, and the figures get used somewhat frequently, like in the recent Bath Time Siblings, the Seaside Friends blind bags and boxes, and the 40th anniversary Funny Monster Trio. Less surprising is that the Marguerite rabbits aren't in this new picture. They were released for the 35th anniversary in 2020, and I do think are a really pretty variation on the regular rabbit mould, but there are 4 in this image alone, so maybe the brand thinks that's enough. The marguerites are used occasionally too. Romeo is in this mimosa embroidery pair released in 2024, and baby Luciana in the Easter egg hutch, but it's not that common to see them. And they also only just placed above the reindeer in the 40th anniversary election. And the last missing family I spotted was the curly-eared cats. Now these are an official store exclusive, and those families aren't always featured in these large photos, but the fairy snowbirds, moles, bulldogs and corgis are all official store exclusives too, and the curly cats were in previous year's photos as well. I don't own these figures, partly because they are only available through the official store and are quite expensive, but they have always looked kind of weird to me, and their defining feature of the curly ears are now in the flying squirrel family as well. Along the same lines, the Shiba Inus are another official store exclusive family. They were in the 2024 picture, but not last year's or this year's, but them being missing since then doesn't seem to have affected availability, and they are on the Japanese and other official store pages as well. And finally, not just one family, but there aren't any modern style horses in this picture. There's one main family, but 3 varieties of horses, and they were tucked away on the right hand side of this previous photo. The mainlies, consisting of mum and 2 daughters, are the ones who are a cream colour, and there are 2 extra child ponies, Bella and Giselle, in the centre. These were all released in 2021 and 2022 as part of a hairstylist range with a new beauty salon. I've spoken before about how these don't really make sense with the older ponies, which weren't anthropomorphic, but now I do have one of these myself, and they have fun with the long maned style in different ways. The horses have been really limited to a few specific sets, and seem quite separate to the rest of the range, so I wouldn't really be surprised for these to no longer be produced, and the beauty salon isn't even on the Japanese Sylvanian Families store anymore, so maybe that's already happening. But that is everything I noticed from this new image. I don't want to say it definitely means things will be getting discontinued, especially as there are families like the alpacas, silk cats and splashy otters, which haven't been featured in the last few of these images, but are still being sold. But more, it's just something to think about, and I wanted to make a video particularly as the marshmallow mice and reindeer seem to be a glaring omission. But let me know what you think, even if it's that I'm overthinking one random picture posted by the brand. I'd still love to chat in the comments. And as always, thank you for watching this video. If you like Sylvanian Families content, then subscribe to my channel as I post videos every week about everything Sylvanian, including news, unboxings, and occasionally a random chatty video like this as well.